There we go. 1-2. What's up, everybody? You're very welcome along to this Liverpool-Manchester City FA Cup semi-final preview. It feels like it's a never-ending run of games against Manchester City, doesn't it? But, you know what? Two best teams in England, two best teams in Europe, got to fight it out, and Anfield South is tomorrow's venue. 3:30 kickoff, just in case anybody isn't aware. And yeah, I know a couple of people who have issues around their tickets as well for the game. I've seen in our Discord group, a couple of the guys haven't been able to actually get their physical tickets for it, so I really hope everybody gets sorted for them as well. And yeah, nice to see you all. I'm absolutely shattered now. It's been a mad few days. Streaming non-stop for the last few days. Absolutely knackered, but it all starts again because we got to do a preview for this one. We got to look ahead to the game tomorrow, and of course I will be live on Twitch at 2:45 tomorrow to start the watch along coverage for this one. I'm going to go through in a couple of minutes, take you guys through my predicted 11, or excuse me, not my predicted 11, my preferred 11, and my score prediction for the game as well. Massive week, obviously for a whole lot of reasons. Today, obviously a very mindful day for us with Hillsborough and stuff like that. So yeah, and again, as I said, there's a Liverpool fan that sadly passed away this week at the last home game as well. So it's been, it's been one of those weeks where you take stock of everything and you just kind of appreciate the small things in life. So yeah, I think it's important we all take a little moment to do that as well. What else have we got to go through? Oh yeah, European action. I mean, what a week for British clubs in Europe. Liverpool, Manchester City obviously made the Champions League semi-finals. Chelsea put up a valiant effort away against Real Madrid, consider themselves very unlucky not to be in the semi-final. Then, of course, we've seen Rangers and West Ham book their places in the semi-final of the Europa League. Rangers will be taking on Leipzig in one semi-final, West Ham taking on Frankfurt, who knocked out Barcelona at the Camp Nou. And then, of course, Leicester City making the semi-final of the Europa Conference League, where they'll take us on Jose Mourinho's Roma. So yeah, pretty good week for English clubs, or British clubs I should say. And then today we get the news, and I see it in the chat already, so I'm going to bring it up quickly, that Sean Dyche has been sacked by Burnley. Now, you won't find much sympathy for Burnley on this channel because, nobody likes playing Burnley. But what you will get from me is immense respect for the job Sean Dyche did at Burnley. I think the fact that Burnley have sacked Sean Dyche is a joke. They are never going to find themselves a better manager than Sean Dyche, who has worked miracles to keep Burnley in the Premier League for as long as he has on a shoestring budget. So once again, I think it's another case of Premier League clubs getting ahead of themselves, getting above themselves, and not realising how lucky they are to have Sean Dyche in there as a manager. I mightn't have liked the style that he played, but he got results and he got Burnley over the line almost every single season. So Sean Dyche, I think, should feel very unlucky. Should feel very unlucky to be sacked. And I think it's a bad move by Burnley. I really, really do. I have immense respect for Sean Dyche. Yeah, so look, shall we have a little look at the projections for the game against Manchester City? But let's have a little talk with the chat. Let's chat with the chat. I'm not awake, as you can see. Let's have a chat with the chat. Talk with the chat. I'm not awake. I'm just not awake. Mick said Sean Dyche being sacked is nuts. Worst footballer mistake of the season, said Killian. Yeah, it's ridiculous. Look, I don't like Burnley. Everybody hates playing Burnley, but that's for a reason. Because Sean Dyche, when you play Burnley, you're going to have a hard game. You're going to be up against competitors. Sean Dyche always got a tune out of his team. So, look, I'm shocked that he's been sacked. I really am. Burnley getting too big for their boots, said Surfland 65. Yes, 100% agree with you. I think that tends to be the consensus amongst any of the football fraternity or football family that I've seen anyway. I've seen Carragher and Neville speaking about it and other Premier League managers saluting the job that Sean Dyche did at Burnley, and I think it's a decision that they will massively regret. So look, let's have a look to this game tomorrow against Manchester City. Now, the news is that's come out of Manchester City apparently is that De Bruyne and Walker's out. Now, as always with these things, take it with a pinch of salt and we'll wait and see what happens tomorrow, because it looked like Walker went off with an injury, of course, against Atletico Madrid. But De Bruyne, I don't know if he went off injured, but there has been reports via RMC Sport in France that De Bruyne and Walker are out. I don't know is the honest answer. Diaz should be back for them. He travelled with Manchester City over to Madrid for the quarter-final against Atleti. So I'd imagine he'd be available. But yeah, look, the news is apparently that Walker and De Bruyne are injured. If that's the case, no, De Bruyne is definitely positive for us, but we'll wait and see. I won't believe it till I see the team sheet. So yeah, there's mind games involved. And look, nothing wrong with it. Nothing wrong with the mind games involved, but we'll wait and see what happens. But let's have a look at my predicted 11, or my preferred 11, I should say, for this. You guys can tell me what you think, and we'll go from there. So 1 second. Right, I've got to make sure the microphone's on. Yes, the microphone's on in the scene. So look, I'm going to take you through my preferred 11, my reasoning behind it, and my score prediction. We'll start with the score prediction. I can see Liverpool pinching a 2-1. Now, whether we're getting City at a good time because of the absolute physical exertions that they had to put in over an Atleti while Klopp was able to rotate and rest some of our boys against Benfica, that remains to be seen. But I have a good feeling about it. It could be 2-1 in extra time. I'm not by any stretch of the imagination saying this is going to be done in normal time, but I feel like we'll just get over the line. But then again, I've got to say that I'm a Liverpool fan. I've got to believe that Liverpool win the game. Otherwise, what's the point? So look, let me take you through my 11 and we'll see what you think. So in goal, Alisson. Centre backs, I would imagine it's going to be Ibrahima Konate alongside Virgil van Dijk. I'd be absolutely amazed if Joel Matip was able to play 3 games in a week. So I'm going Alisson, Van Dijk and Konate. Full-backs, back to the originals, back to as we were, Andy Robertson and Trent. Now look, Costas put in an amazing shift against Benfica. I was very, very impressed with Costas against Benfica, particularly going forward. His crossing was amazing, got himself 2 assists. But I still feel like Andy Robertson being rested is a massive indication and sign to us that he plays this game at the weekend. In midfield, that's what I've gone with. Thiago, Fabinho and Bobby in an attacking midfield role. And I said this the last time, I'm going to repeat it again. I want to see us try and take the game to Manchester City. To do that, I love the midfield of Fabinho and Thiago. I love the idea of those anchor in the midfield with Bobby having license to get forward when he needs to, but also be back and help us defend from the front. Look back to the game against City at the Etihad. How many times did their forward or their back line and their midfield get time to get their heads up and exploit our high line? Somebody like Bobby there pressing, harassing the midfield along with Fabinho and Thiago, I think, and look, it could be just wishful thinking on my part, but I think that could help us defend from the front. Up top then, Luis Diaz on the left, Mohamed Salah on the right, and Sadio Mane through the centre. Diogo Jota starts on the bench for me in this game. That's what I'd put out against Manchester City. That's what I think could beat Manchester City. But as always, my opinion is just that, an opinion. Klopp could well go with Jordan Henderson in midfield. I'd be surprised actually if it's anybody other than Henderson. But look, that's my team. That's the team that I put on the pitch against Manchester City at Wembley. I like us going a bit ballsy against City. I thought we were too respectful of them at the Etihad. And I hope lessons have been learned from that because, we got out of the game with a 2-2 draw, showed tremendous courage to come back from 2 for a goal down twice in the game. And look, this season the 2 teams almost feel destined to end up in 2-2 in each game that they play. So for me, that's it. That's the team I'd like to see on the pitch against Manchester City, and I think that gives Manchester City a bit more to worry about in the final third of the pitch than the game that we played at the Etihad. Right, let's see what you guys think. Hendo needs to play. Why? Like, genuinely, why does Hendo need to play? What can Hendo bring to the game at Wembley that he didn't bring to the Etihad? I don't get it. Like, I love Hendo and I would start him in most games, but not this one. I don't think this is a game we need Hendo in. I think this is a game we need somebody who can help us unlock the City defence, who can be a pest to them, and that's why I have Bobby in there. Bobby in midfield leaves it too open, does it? Again, Ava, I don't think you're listening to why I'm playing Bobby in midfield, because he will press like nobody else. He will close down like nobody else. He will pinch the ball back, work his ass off high up the pitch and cause Manchester City headaches when they're trying to exploit our high line. I think exactly the opposite of what you're saying is true. I think Bobby playing actually shores us up because it prevents those long balls over the top. It's not rocket science. Look back to the game we played at the Etihad. They exploited us far too often by getting time to get their heads up. Bernardo Silva, Kevin De Bruyne, ping, 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 balls over the top into the channel. That doesn't happen with Bobby, for me. I think Keita should play. Josh, I would have gone with Keita, but he didn't play very well in midweek. That's what stopped me putting Keita in the team. Like, if you look back, mate, to the preview I did for the last game, I had Keita in there. I would have loved Keita to play, but I think he didn't do himself any favours against Benfica. I just don't think it was a great performance, and although Naby's certainly capable of putting in a worldie, it's a risk because we don't know which Keita we'd get. So that's why I've gone. And look, Ava, no disrespect to Ava either, but I just think if we play Hendo, it's the same old, same old. It's exactly what they expect. The same patterns of play, the same movement, the same triangles down the right-hand side. Very easy for them to predict. And in these games where it can often be a tactical chess match, I just think, why not give them something to think about? They're going to be a bit tired as well, I would imagine, after their exploits in Madrid, and maybe we can catch them early. Fabinho was shocking versus City. Yes, he was, no argument, but the man's allowed to have a bad game. Like, he's had much more good games than he has bad. So, for me, I hope that's an anomaly for Fabinho, but I can't argue with you, mate, Sydney. He wasn't at his greatest against Manchester City, no doubt about that. Jamie said, Craig, your predicted 11's my favourite Liverpool team for the season. Yeah, I love it, mate, but then again, I love an attack-minded team. And we are playing against a team, by the way, that are excellent in attack as well, excellent at retaining possession, excellent at exploiting any weaknesses we have. But then again, look, I like to think that when Manchester City fans or Pep are sitting down and working out their team, I like to think that they're worrying about our players as well as, of course, worrying about their own game plan. There's no way the captain doesn't start against City. Why, though, Ryan? Like, what has he done to justify this start? Hendo plays in this game. What's he going to do any different than any other game? I don't get it. We can't just give them the obvious Liverpool 11 and just say it will them to go, oh, well, we figured this out the last time. Hendo doesn't have the legs he once had. He's not the same player he was. There will be a massive part for Jordan Henderson to play in this campaign, next campaign as well, but I'm sorry, I want somebody who can close down, and I want somebody who can give them something to think about. Because like they insist on playing out from the back. And if you look back at our last game, we didn't press in enough numbers. We didn't press in 2s and 3s. And I think there's a mistake in them, in that defence. And I want to exploit that. And I want Bobby to be the man to do it. So, look, I'm biased, by the way, for Bobby, 100%. But I also feel like if we go in exactly as they expect us to do, it'll be the same pattern of game over again. Why not shake it up a little bit different? Be bold, be brave. Hendo is the leader, you need to understand. And he can't lead from the sidelines, no. Did he lead us to victory against City this season in any other game we played, Bob McCreben? Why do I need to understand? Why do you not need to understand that we should have a team of leaders? Hendo's a leader, brilliant. Did he lead us to victory at the Etihad? Nope. Just because he's a leader, mate, doesn't mean he deserves to start every game. Captains don't have to play week in and week out, my man. Plus, by the way, look at that team. It's not short of leadership. Robertson, international captain. Van Dijk, international captain. Alisson, very experienced. Canade, French under-21 captain, I believe. Trent, more than capable of leading at a young age. Fabinho, Thiago, absolute leadership skills. Mohamed Salah led his country. Sadio Mane led his country to success in the AFCON and got player of the tournament. This team is full of leaders. We're not talking about a team that's wet behind the ears here that has no players that are used to the big occasions. By your own reckoning, mate, Hendo will be playing till he's 35, 36 every single week because we need captains. Sorry, I don't buy it. Hey, Bob McCreben, you're entitled to your opinion, but when we play Manchester City tomorrow, and if Hendo does start, and if it's same old, I expect you to come on and own up to your mistake, because have you ever played in a football team before? Not trying to be an arsehole, genuine question, because I don't know what you think a leader does on the pitch other than just shout instructions and talk to the referee, which he's more than capable of doing from the sideline if he needed to. I don't get the love in for he has to start because he's our leader. Michael Carrick was a leader at Manchester United, didn't play every single week. Football is littered with great leaders who, as they get a bit older, can lead from the sidelines. I just don't get it. I just don't get it. I mean, each to their own. Look, we are entitled to our own opinions. I respect your opinion, mate, but I disagree with it respectfully. Mo Patel said, stop this Hendo love. He's been our worst midfielder this season. City aren't even playing Fernandinho anymore because he doesn't have the legs and he's the captain. I can't disagree with what you said, mate. Look, I love Hendo, by the way. Don't get this wrong. Hendo has a massive, massive part to play in our squad and in our team. But I think Hendo is now the James Milner. You bring him on at 70 in these big games if we're ahead to help see it out, help make sure we marshal the midfield, move side to side, do everything we need to do to defend. But proactively, I just don't think it's the right choice. But, hey, look, it's easy for me, isn't it, to sit here and say, do this, do that. Why would you pick Firmino in midfield? I've explained why. If you know anything about how City play and how we play, you'll know that they will try and exploit our high line. Trying to play Bobby Firmino in midfield means that we press from the front more, we hunt in packs, we don't give them time to get their head up and exploit the ball over the top. Bobby's the best presser we have in the team. I think it's self-explanatory there. Chicken Boy said, I'm more worried about Bobby not playing than Hendo playing. That man has to play. I think he has to play as well. I think this is a game that's made for Bobby Firmino. I think that's a team in Manchester City that Bobby will relish playing against. He's such an intelligent footballer. I still don't think anybody, maybe a lot of Liverpool fans, but outside of our fan base, I don't feel enough people give Bobby Firmino the credit he deserves. He is an absolute genius on a football pitch. In the position that he plays, dropping deep, picking up balls, defending from the front. I love the man. But, like anybody else, Bobby isn't the player he once was either. But I just think if we go into the game, and let's say we swapped Firmino for Hendo, we're going to go into the same pattern as always. Hendo on the right, Thiago on the left, Fabinho in the holding role, Hendo linking up and playing triangles with Trent and Salah on the right hand side. Thiago on the left side, dropping into pockets when Andy Robertson picks up the ball, meaning Andy Robertson won't have the balls to go around the outside. He'll cut back inside, he'll play it back to Thiago, that'll slow down the play. Manchester City's midfield will catch back up, they will get players back behind the ball and it'll be more difficult for us to break them down. We need to do everything quicker. We need to press from the front quicker. We need to make sure that we exploit their mistakes quicker. And we need to stop having no balls and cutting back inside. Our fullbacks need to go around the outside. And then we need to have players to step in and cover. To me, that's straightforward. And I don't know about you guys, but I've got very frustrated lately with seeing every time Andy Robertson gets the ball, he checks back inside, checks back inside, checks back inside. Look at the difference when Costa Simicas played in the last game. Just bombing down that left-hand side. Bomb, giving them something to think about. Whipping in early balls from wide areas. To me, we need to be quicker. We need to be quicker in transition. And with Robertson cutting inside too much when he's Thiago there is an easy option. Oh, look, there's Thiago Alcantara. Let's give him the ball and hope he does a bit of Samba magic. Just doesn't work against Manchester City. It'll work against 95% of other teams. But against Manchester City, they're so damn good that we've got to be proactive. Sitting back and hoping that we can figure out a way won't work, because you can't figure out Manchester City. They're too good in possession. They move the ball quickly. They are phenomenal. They are the best footballing side in Europe, bar none. But we are the best side at causing chaos. We are the best side at exploiting other people's weaknesses. That's why I love our boys. That's why I love the style Klopp plays. And that's why I think we need to go balls out against City. That's my take on it. I don't want to see another repetitive game against City where they boss possession and we try and exploit, hope for a couple of moments of magic. Let's be a bit different. Let's go back to the swashbuckling, all pressing, all conquering, mad batshit crazy games we had against City in the early days. Let's make it like a basketball game. Let's make it stretch out and let's see what happens. Because you know what? I think we'll beat any team in an end-to-end open game of football. I really, really do. Daniel said, I'm going to the church of Craig Holt and I say amen to this team. Last 2 minutes describing how we've played recently. Yeah, exactly. That's my point. They're good patterns that we play. They're good patterns. They're well-trodden patterns. They're patterns that the players know really well. But they're also patterns that a team like Manchester City, who have players clever enough to see what's happening, read ahead, like we do. Look at our midfielders. Look at Fabinho, reads the game excellently. Van Dijk behind, reads it excellently. They have players of that calibre as well. This isn't no Benfica, or this isn't a Manchester United or an Everton we're playing. This is a team that is, with us, the best team in the world. So, what do? Do you play to your own strengths and try and hope to exploit? Or do you be reactive and see what Manchester City do? Let's not forget, this is a neutral venue as well. It's not at the Etihad. They don't have home advantage. They don't have home comforts. They don't have the dressing room they used to. They don't have the width style of pitch that they used to. They'll know every bump at the Etihad. I just feel like we need to just do something different. And look, that team that I picked could go out and get spanked, but they could also go out and win the game. What else we got? How are we, brother? I'm good, Hamzino. I'm just really tired, my man. Really, really tired. Been a really long week. Somebody said, is there a show tonight? Yes, 8:45. Me and Paddy will be live tonight at 8:45. Looking ahead to tomorrow, obviously, as well. Michael Lyon said, gonna go with you, Craig. 2-1 to the Red Men. Yeah, I mean, look, don't get me wrong. I'll take 20-19 on penalties if it needs be. I think I'm a little bit more relaxed with this game tomorrow. I don't feel the nerves that I did in the league game, and I know I don't feel the nerves that I will if we play them in the Champions League final, because I don't even know if I'll be able to do build-up shows that week with the Champions League final if we get there against City, because that'll be a bundle of nerves for that one, folks. Why Canade over Matip? Just the fact that he played, Jay, 3 games. That would be 3 games for Matip in a week, mate, and I don't see it happening. And it seems to be the consensus as well amongst most of the media I've read that it's highly probable that we'll see Canade play because of the amount of football that Joel has played. If it was up to me, I would have played. I wouldn't have played Joel Matip against Benfica, and I'd be playing him against City. But this is just what I think Klopp will do with the centre back pairing. So people keep asking about Elliot. I honestly have no idea what story is with Harvey. All I can say to you is what I've said before. It's not unusual for a manager who gives a young lad their taste of first team football, and even if they do really well like that, to just pull them away for a little bit, regroup, bring them back on the training pitch, show them what they need to work on when they get back to the first team. But like you all, I hope to see Harvey Elliott playing again real soon. Hope it goes to penalties, said Jackie Boy. I don't. For a whole host of reasons. Obviously, we've got United on Tuesday at Anfield, and you know, if it goes to extra time, it's another 30 minutes in the lads' legs, and then of course penalties and stuff like that as well. So yeah, I hope it doesn't go to extra time and penalties. But if we're going off the meetings between these two teams this season, it's going to be 2-2, and it'll go to extra time. Do you think Canade will replace Matip as a regular starter next season? Yeah, probably. I would imagine Dyche that's the partnership Kloppo has in mind moving forward. By the way, can we just take a second to just say how brilliantly Matip has been managed this season, and how brilliant he's been himself. I mean, full credit to Joel. I did not see him having a season this season when the season started where he would be as impactful as he has been, and it's massive credit to him, massive credit to the medical staff, of course, and the recovery sessions that they've put in. But Joel has been phenomenal this season. I mean, we've been very fortunate that Joel's been able to allow Canade to bed in as easily as he has, so just great credit all around. Do you think Walker and KDB's injury will play a big part, as well as Cancelo will have to play right back? Yes. Look, De Bruyne, if De Bruyne isn't available for them, look, come on, he's one of the best midfielders in the world. Any team would miss Kevin De Bruyne. So yeah, if he's not available, big loss. But I tell you what though, having no Cancelo in the first leg of the Champions League semi-final against Real Madrid for Manchester City is going to be a nightmare as well. You know, he picked up, I think, a yellow that keeps him out of the first leg. What else have we got? Matip's been brilliant. Canade is fantastic in the air. I mean, look, the fact that Ibu is only 22 years of age, I think, is scary. it is scary because not only has he got the physical attributes that you would expect from looking at him, he's got tremendous recovery pace, and he's another great attacking addition for us from corners. I mean, we've seen home and away against Benfica. The man he made the defenders look like children and just rose above and buried two headers. Just brilliant. Just great business by the club again. I'm so happy. Genuinely, I know I don't look it because I'm tired at the minute, but where we are right now as a football club, my man, my ladies, this is exactly what we wanted. Somebody asked me something about Luton as well. Yeah, I seen Luton won today, 1-0, if my memory's right, against Forest, is that right? Yeah, if Luton got back up to the top tier of English football, that'd be class. The old days of Kenilworth Road. The plastic pitch, I'm old enough to remember the plastic pitch at Kenilworth Road as well. Although, look, whenever somebody says to me Luton, I immediately think Xavi Alonso. Immediately. That's the first thing that comes into my head. Is that, I think it was an FA Cup game, wasn't it? Where Alonso was just being Xavi Alonso. And Gerrard's like, don't shoot. Oh, okay. Yeah, no, well done, mate. Yeah, well done. Well done. Great goal, Xavi. Well done. Knew you had it in you, son. I knew you had it in you. Am I still an Aberdeen fan? I would never consider myself a fan, Jay. They're just the only team I'd look out for in Scotland. It's more because of Graham Hunter, really, than anything else. Thoughts on Sean Dyche sacking? I think it's despicable. I think it's absolutely despicable, Jake, that Sean Dyche was sacked. Look, I think most of us aren't fans of playing Burnley, but that's actually just a mark of respect to Sean Dyche because of the way he sets his team up. You know you're going to be in for a game when you go to Turf Moor, when you play against Burnley, and I am genuinely just shocked that they sacked him. I think it's absolute stupidity from Burnley. Somebody wants me to talk about Adeyemi. Do that tonight, mate. We'll do that tonight, don't worry. We will cover the Kareem Adeyemi stuff on tonight's show at 8:45. Tomorrow, just so everybody knows, 2:45 PM start. It's a cup game, so we will be on Twitch tomorrow. So make sure that you join us over there for that one. Also, we are closing in on 136,000 followers or subscribers on here. So if you haven't yet hit that follow button or subscribe button, please do. We are dissing Hendo too much. Are we? I'm not dissing anybody. I'm just replying to people who ask me why I haven't put Hendo in the team. I think I'm entitled to my opinion on the starting 11. Next week, if we're playing United, I'll have Hendo in my midfield. Just for this particular game, I don't think Hendo's the right fit. But he'd be certainly back in my midfield for the games against United and the games against Everton at the weekend. Just not in this one. I just don't think he has the legs anymore for this particular fixture. Nidge, I'll get Connor to... Well, we were sharing the link in on Twitch last night, mate, and it was fine, but I will get Connor to have a look at it, Nidge, and rejig it. Yorkshire T said, we're so lucky as Reds fans. I savour and enjoy watching every game. Absolutely. We've been through enough seasons where we haven't had anything to play for in April, and right now, Champions League semi-final to look forward to. FA Cup semi-final tomorrow. League title run in. Game against United Tuesday. Game against Everton next weekend. Yeah, the big games are coming thick and fast, and I'm loving it as well. If this was the final of the Champions League, would I have gone for Hendo? Against Manchester City? I don't know. Any other team in the world? Yes, 100%. But if this was a Champions League final... If it was against City, I don't know. I can't say 100%. If it was against Real Madrid, yes, 100% Henderson would be in my 11 for the final against Real Madrid. Because Real Madrid play through midfield a lot more with Kroos and Modric and Casemiro. Manchester City have the capability, like we do with our fullbacks or with our centre backs, of getting their head up and playing a ball ping straight over the top. So I think Not that Alaba isn't capable of doing that, by the way. I just think we get a little bit more time in the game against Real Madrid, and City move it too quickly. So if it was a Champions League final against City, maybe not, but I can't say for certain. But if it was any other team, yes, Hendo would be playing. I think it's vital we sign a midfielder in the summer, like a Bellingham or Tchouaméni, said Reese. Yeah, I agree, Reese. Now look, we listed off the midfielders that we currently have on our books, and we've a lot. I think we counted 8 or 9 midfielders last night. So we probably need to move a couple on. I'd say we probably see at least one midfielder move on. Are you leaving YouTube? No, we're not, mate. We're just moving all of our live content next season onto Twitch, because we signed an exclusive deal to license our content to Twitch for next season. But we will be putting up pre-recorded shorter form videos and highlights and stuff on YouTube. But all of our watch-alongs and stuff will be on Twitch for next season, because Twitch finally, did what we always wanted, which was give us an opportunity to go full-time at this. So, yeah. So, no, not leaving YouTube by any means. Don't know what the future holds after next season. But I like the challenge of trying another platform and seeing if we can grow on there. But definitely, promise you, we'll be putting out loads of content on YouTube. At least 2-3 videos a day, I'd say, moving forward. Could you see Ollie at Burnley? I couldn't see the sense of it, to be honest with you. I couldn't see the sense of them getting rid of a manager in Sean Dyche who has a track record at that end of the table, working miracles with Burnley, to bring in Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Just wouldn't make any sense to me, just like Cardiff all over again. What position would you say is the most crucial we need a player in? I don't know if I can answer that question until I know who's going to move on. My instinct, if it bleeds, would be to say midfield. But again, we need to know what type of budget we're going to work with. We need to know who's going to be available, and who's going to move on. So my instinct would be to say midfield, but I have a couple of other areas as well. Bellingham seeing Liverpool Airport today. We don't talk about Jude until it happens. Ollie is good at counter-attack. Okay, look, to be honest with you, I don't care if Jesus comes in to manage Burnley. It doesn't bother me the slightest. I still think they're going down. But I just think it's the wrong decision to sack Dyche. I do. Why is Firmino midfield ahead of Keita? Because Keita wasn't very good against Benfica. I was hoping to see a lot more from Naby. As you know, huge Naby fan myself. Would have played him against City last weekend. I just don't think he did enough against Benfica to show that he deserves to start in this game. If Klopp uses this lineup information, do you think Fabinho will go up? What do you mean by go up? No, if this team plays here, what I would expect is Fabinho and Thiago to be basically a double pivot in midfield, sitting a little bit deeper perhaps, and trying to stop City if they counter through the middle, which probably won't be too often. And I expect Bobby to do the pressing from the front along with Diaz, Mane and Salah. I don't think Naby's shown us the consistency we hope for yet to really justify starting him. I still feel like if we see Naby on a team sheet, there's every possibility he puts in a great performance, but there's also every possibility that he's not up to speed yet, and we can't afford to carry any passengers. How long do you think Thiago will stay at the club? No idea, Goomy. I haven't got a clue. I suppose let's see how his body holds up over the next couple of years. What we do know is he signed a 4-year contract when he signed from Bayern Munich, so we have a couple of years left on that. Do we think Curtis Jones could be in the lineup against City? In the lineup, I'd be fucking gobsmacked if he starts the game against City, to be honest with you. What about Jota? I would leave him on the bench for this one, and bring him on as an impact player if we need to. Matip, the only reason Matip isn't in my starting 11 is because that would mean he's played 3 games in the week, and I doubt that very much. So yeah, look, you know me, I love Joel Matip, but I can't see him. I can't see him playing 3 games in the week. Right, look, I am going to leg it, my friends, but that is my predicted 11 and my score prediction for the game tomorrow. I'll be back tonight at 8:45 with Paddy. We'll be going through everything Liverpool transfer news, looking ahead to the weekend, reacting to the Champions League games and everything in between. Please do hit that subscribe button before you guys head off. Drop a like in the video, and I hope to see it at 8:45 tonight. If I don't see it tonight, or if you're heading to Wembley tomorrow, have a cracking trip. Enjoy it. Be safe. Be well. Enjoy the football. And have yourselves a wonderful weekend. Talk to you later on. Take care. Bye.